What proof could I offer I would return to Nigeria after my fellowship? Uwem, whose wife Afanime flunked 4 interviews before she could join him in the Bronx, had helped me build my answer around my coveted position at Mboto Books, my excitement over grooming local writers, the books I had published so far, and my ongoing war research by way of recording oral interviews of Awana war victims, which had to be done in Anang land, North America. By the time I finally slept that night, my mind was already in New York. I scrambled up many times before the hotel service woke me at 5 a.m. I had no appetite, though they were already serving their complimentary breakfast at that hour. Though my driver had said the traffic would be okay, it was dangerously building up. I called Carol to say how tense I was. She said it was unbearable for her. After she sobbed and said 3 Hail Marys slowly into the phone, which brought tears to my eyes, Uwem sought to distract me by asking for pictures of the poor man's skyscrapers of Victoria Island. I wore down the crowd haggling for my attention. The 2 ladies who trailed me through the half-mile high-security no vehicular zone leading to the embassy. Uncle, do everything to get the Latina visa interviewer, counseled a lady in bright red culotte, carrying a huge bag of pamphlets on her head. She de merciful. We de call am Santa Judesa. She de wear blue-rimmed glasses. She be our personal person for the embassy. Okay, I said. Avoid the white man lagoon drinker, her partner in the immaculate white dress said. That one just they drink water non-stop, as if liquid no the America. It they bully our people too much, especially if you want visit New York, his village. Mbo, I'm headed to New York, I said. Please, just say you dey go New Jersey or Connecticut. Thanks, ladies, I love your humor, I said, chuckling confidently. You could tell who was triumphant by their smiles and thumbs-ups. Some got their visas within a minute and waved the pink slips with details of when to pick up their passports. Some succeeded after a tug of war between them and the interviewers. Others failed. They were shrugs, they were tears. 2 families who broke out in total confrontation with the interviewers were escorted out by security, the children wailing like their parents had died. As more folks from the ladies' booth were celebrating, I suspected she was the Latina. The only problem was you did not choose your interviewer. So I was beckoned forward and I stood up confidently, walking up to the Latina. Good morning, madam. Good afternoon, madam, I said, bowing and placing my folder on the ledge of the counter with my 2 hands over it. Good morning. Miss Secom Udosoro, she asked with a smile. Yes, madam. Please, what tribe are you? Oh, I'm Anan. Anan? Yes, Anan. Does that mean you are not Hausa Fulani, Yoruba or Igbo? That's exactly what it means, madam. When she smiled and nodded and jotted something down, I thought my stock had appreciated and shifted my weight from one leg to the other. We the minorities have been crushed in Nigeria for far too long, even though most of the oil Nigeria's main resource was in our territories. Excellent. She bent down and wrote furiously and said without looking up, but can you prove there is such a tribe? What tribe? I said. Your tribe. Could you convince me there is such a people, the Anans? I folded my arms and searched the ceiling. What can you prove there's such a tribe? Mr. Dawson, she said, and cleared her throat. I'm sorry to say we cannot at this time process your visa to the United States because you have completely failed to prove you would return to Nigeria. No, I swear by the blessed sacrament, I shall return. The stamp of denial on my passport sounded like a gavel. Mr. Dawson, you may reapply next time. Next? The next interviewee, the Muslim lady, gently touched my shoulder. Dear, don't worry, she said, holding my hand and pointing me towards the exit. You'll get it next time. Just reapply tonight. Be strong. Her kind words helped me to recover, collect my passport and yellow denial slip, and moved away before security reacted. The whole thing lasted 4 minutes. All right.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much, Uwem. So your stories often begin where most people would rather look away. You know, I mean, how many of us have had this experience with visas? How are you able to sustain empathy in the face of this rather dark and troubling things?
My people, the Anans, we are a minority of minorities. So if you're a minority in Nigeria, you suffer a lot. So when I write, I want to be inclusive. I want other minorities to feel I see them. I want to say even to the majorities, some of you are also compassionate, people. I enjoy doing it, but also it's very draining, especially the topics I deal with. I do better with the first draft, but the second draft and third and 50th is brutal because now I see it again and again and again, and it's very painful. But I realize that writing is rewriting. What does it serve me or the world to create a Muslim woman that is wicked? Instead, I'm going to create a Muslim woman that, has dignity. And I go from there. If I'm going to critique her or criticize her later on, I need to show that dignity, that she's a human being, she's kind, she's the one helping her come. We need to do this more in our country. Whether it's happiness or sadness, the artist needs to know how to handle, because both of them will get you into trouble.
So this issue of language and resistance, I've noticed that you mix English, Pidgin and Anang in your work, and often the Anang, the Pidgin, there's no translation there. You might concede to italicize, but you don't explain it, So my next question is about language. What role does language play in your storytelling, in your craft as a writer?
It's very important because we are little more than language. Language is a big factor in your life and what carries your culture. There are many things that cannot be translated in another language. And many of our minority languages, they are dying out. Our kids are not speaking it. They're not interested. They want to speak English, not just English, American English, because they want to travel out and study. How many people speak Anang in the world? Even if I wrote this book in Anang, nobody can speak it.